All right, so let's express this common color. So the idea is this. The idea is this, that perhaps what can we do about this color being common between both of them? Well, step number one, essentially, we'd like to take this color out of here and make it part of a separate data structure. And of course, so over here is the same thing. We will take it out of here and make it part of a separate data structure. And this separate data structure we can call shape, which is like, abstract shape, which could represent a shape with its color, or shape which is circle, or shape which is triangle. And so it becomes a box when it's created. If we create shape, right, we can create it like this, and we can construct the shape like this. But shape in its own self is not very, is not very useful. We need to make this, and let's just say that this is our shape over here, and to make it usable by both circles, triangles, and other types of graphical user primitives in the future that we may add to our system. We'll make it so that every time we construct circle or triangle, we will tell circle and triangle they should include shape as part of them. Okay, so I will basically, the way to approach this is that basically what I would like to show you is that I want to see if I can make it happen on my little drawing over here. Essentially I want to take this shape and include it in every primitive that I create like this. So I'll make amendments to my drawings right here, right? And this is our circle right here. Make amendments like this. And then likewise for the triangle, we want to use the same thing. Basically, we want to be able to move. Let me here do the same thing. We want to be able to provide enough space over here and essentially make shape part of the triangle as well. Something like that. Okay, so now I can fix my drawing, and now we need to demonstrate how we could make something like this happen in the code. Oh, I should not have moved it completely. Made a mistake here. Okay, so somehow I made it. All right. Anyway, so this is the idea, to have a common part. So shape will be a common part of all graphical user primitives that we create. Let's add it to the code now. Struct shape, and we decided that initially struct shape will have we'll have the color. So look, we take color out of circle and give it to the shape. And similarly, we take it out of triangle and we'll give it to the shape. And then how can we make compiler use shape as the base or foundation for creation of both triangle and circle? Well, this is what we do. We say that circle is inheriting everything that the shape has. This is the syntax. So this little column, you can say inherits, okay? Circle inherits everything from shape. Okay, so this is the meaning of this, that circle inherits everything from shape. In other words, everything that shape does, or everything that shape includes, or everything that shape has, will be made part of circle simply by taking its internal stuff and pasting it when the object is created inside, right? So the shape will be added to every circle, and if I do the same with triangle, triangle will also include everything that shape has. However, what also needs to change, and typically when the data members of my data structures or classes change, I immediately have to revisit the constructors, because constructors are pretty closely related to the initialization of these data members. So the color here is gone. So guess what? But the color now has become part of shape. So we just change it to a shape, okay, like this. And here, same thing for the triangle. The color is gone from within the internal part of the triangle, but now it's part of the shape. Okay, and the only thing that needs to be observed, I don't know if the compiler will permit this or not, but typically initialization of the base class, and by the way, officially, shape now is called base class, and this is now becomes a class derived from shape. So typically this initialization needs to happen in the first place. It needs to go to the beginning of the initializer list. But let's build it just for a second, just like this. Yeah, Microsoft Visual Studio Compiler permits this to happen without much complaint, but some other compilers may have to ask us to move this initializer for the shape to the head of the list, like this. And then, of course, I need to get rid of this comma. So this is normally this is the style that you maintain. That's that the base class constructor syntax like this has to be at the beginning of the initializer list of the circle or triangle. So same thing over here. Take this shape and move it to the head of the list. Okay. So this works well. Let's make sure that everything continues to work properly. We run it, and the application runs the same way, and we continue to use our structures just before. But now it's very important to recognize that now the color is like bubbled up into this shape structure of its own, and so it has the color there. So this is the right direction to take with objects that are related, and we recognize that both triangle and circle can be used as graphical primitives, in some sort of application that allows drawing of those things, and so we can therefore recognize that these classes or these concepts are related, and we actually solidify their relationship by saying that both inheriting from shape. In a typical class diagram, for which I will now add another scratch pad view here, okay, and so for this, a typical demonstration of the program design that we currently have, we can say that we have a shape, right? So then we also have a circle. We also have a triangle. Right, and so now what happens is that these are our classes that we have in our application, but circle and triangle now become related to the shape, and we say that shape becomes the base class for the triangle and for the circle, and this is how typically you could show it in a diagram. I'll probably just move my boxes closer to these things like this, and we can make like a design diagram, class design diagram, to show that shape is a base class. So we can comment over here that shape is a base class, and the circle and triangle are derived classes. I call them classes over here because structure and class is the same thing. It's only its internal accessibility of its internal parts changes. With structure, the default access is public to everything. If I change the structure to a class, it changes to private access. So that's a topic for, the topic that we will be discussing a few more times before ending of the semester, and then perhaps next semester in CIS 255, the second part of our class, right? So anyways, this is how we design our structures or classes. You see, it's kind of interesting that we can describe shape completely independently and then start using it by deriving other structures from it. But at runtime, the picture changes to this, so that the shape is automatically made part of these graphical user primitives. So this is like design time arrangement, and this is the runtime picture. So these are the actual physical objects in memory which contain all of these structures.